So you want to get into fly tying. Okay, no problem. I'm going to break down the very bare bones, bare minimum, what you need to do this. Here we go. So obviously the first thing that you're going to need is a vise. In my case, I own a travel vise. Everything that I own came in this box. And the actual mechanism for tying, I guess the vise we call it, is clipped to the box. And what makes this a travel vise is this can obviously be clipped to a table or other surface, countertop, etc. So, in any case, you can spend however much you want on a vise. Renzetti is a good brand, for example. But you need the actual mechanism here for tying flies. So, some other items you'll need. Scissors. I recommend having 2 pairs of scissors if you're going to work with wire at all. A pair for cutting your wire, and then a pair for cutting string and other materials, because the wire will actually dull your scissors. Before I even mention those, I should have mentioned thread and bobbin. So the thread should be self-evident. It's this here, of course. You use it to tie your thread dams, your base for all your flies. And the bobbin is the piece that holds your thread and feeds the string through it. So bobbin and thread, covered scissors, tweezers, never a bad thing to have. There's different things that are somewhat similar. You can put them on your finger, using to pull hairs out of finicky flies. Tweezers work just fine, and you can use it for lots of different things. Never a bad thing to have. The whip finish tool. So, this is what you use to finish a fly. How you tie that knot around the eye of the hook so that it brings it all together. You know, dab your glue on it, which we'll get to in a second, and finish it up. I'm an idiot and don't know how to actually use a whip finish tool properly. So I use my fingers and it works just fine. However, if you really want to do it right and have a very secure knot, just learn how to use a whip finish tool. And that looks like that. Alright, so as I just mentioned, we have head cement, and this happens to be Loon. Loon makes great stuff. Some of these head cements and epoxies can only dry with black lights. Never look directly at it, you will blind yourself. But head cement and epoxies are very important for fixing eyes, finishing knots, just giving your fly more rigidity, things like that. This is not an essential at all, but this is called a thread stacker, and you can put feathers and things like this to kind of organize them into a neat kind of stack, get them tight so you can pull it out in one bunch. So in other words, you've got your material, you cut it into pieces, put it in here, kind of get it nice and tight, pull it out, and you have a nice tight bunch like that. Again, not a necessity, but helpful. And now I'm going to get into materials, which, you know, depending on where you live, what type of fishing you want to do, what you're targeting, this is going to be different for everybody. In Florida and Southeast, saltwater fishing, and this also works for freshwater. Here are just some basic things I think everyone should have, and I even think to some degree, depending on where you are in the country, even in the Pacific Northwest, the Northeast, the Great Lakes regions, these can be helpful. So, lead dumbbell eyes. Gotta get that fly down, right? And again, not mandatory because you can use lead wrap. Or you can use bead chain eyes too, but I like these lead eyes in whatever color you like. Probably the most general thing you're going to hear from me: hooks, match it to the size of the fly that you want to tie. Gamakatsu, Mustad makes hooks, Owner, find whichever hook works for you. We have craft fur in a variety of colors. Flashaboo, gotta get that flash, right? EP brush, it's great for building out bodies, right? Again, color is whatever you're trying to do to match the hatch. We have bucktail, that's useful pretty much across the country. And yes, this does smell like a deer's ass. Marabou can be used for lots of different things, fresh and salt water, of course. And just some crystal flash, again, can be used for a variety of different things. And again, this is not all inclusive. These are just kind of basic things that I think that if you want to get into fly tying, you should have. Again, this is just my setup, but I mean, scissors, whip finish, bobbin thread, vise, like, that is the bare necessities. And then as far as materials go, again, match the hatch. Again, bucktail is pretty universal. You know, find the right hooks for what you're fishing for, and maybe get some eyes, maybe not. There's stick-on eyes that have no weight. Depends on your region, what you're fishing for, but very basic game plan for what you're gonna need if you wanna learn how to tie flies. So, subscribe. If you got any questions, you can reach out to me. And, see what you tie. Thanks.